The silk sheet tangled around his legs like a noose, and Raymond bolted upright, heart slamming against his ribs as the dim morning light sliced through the blinds. Beside him, Gregory stirred, his bare shoulder rising like a question mark, the faint scent of whiskey and regret hanging heavy in the air. "What the fuck did we do?" Raymond whispered, his voice cracking like thunder in the silence, as fragments of the night crashed back. Hands fumbling in the dark, lips that shouldn't have met, a line crossed that neither could uncross. It had started innocently enough, or so Raymond told himself in the frantic hours that followed. They were just roommates, two guys scraping by in a shoebox apartment on the edge of Brooklyn, where the L train rattled past their fire escape every 15 minutes like a metronome to their broke-ass lives. Raymond, 25, with his easy grin and calloused hands from slinging drinks at the Rusty Anchor, a dive bar in Williamsburg that catered to hipsters and heartbreakers alike. He was the straight guy, the one with the ex-girlfriend tattooed on his ego, Lila, who dumped him 6 months back for some finance bro in Manhattan, leaving him with a stack of unpaid bills and a fridge full of expired craft beer. Gregory was the quiet one, 24, with wire-rimmed glasses that slipped down his nose when he was deep in his graphic design freelance gigs. He worked from the rickety kitchen table, surrounded by sketchpads and empty coffee mugs, his laugh a rare, warm thing that lit up the cramped space like sunlight through fog. Gay unapologetically but never pushy about it. He dated here and there, quick coffees that turned into awkward goodbyes. But mostly, he was the roommate who remembered to pay the electric bill on time and left Raymond's favorite takeout in the fridge with a post-it note. For the king of bad decisions. They'd clicked from day one, back when Raymond answered the Craigslist ad for a roommate in a panic, 3 days from eviction. Gregory had shown up with a duffel bag and a potted succulent, cracking jokes about how he hoped Raymond didn't mind the occasional drag brunch invite. "Nah, man," Raymond had said, clapping him on the back a little too hard. "As long as you don't steal my socks." It was easy after that. Movie nights with bad action flicks, splitting Ubers to Knicks games, Gregory's playlists filling the apartment with indie folk that Raymond pretended to hate but secretly looped on his runs along the East River. But last night was the kind of storm that reshapes coastlines. It was Friday, the bar had been a madhouse, and Raymond had stumbled home at 2 a.m., reeking of tequila shots and the sharp tang of spilled lime. Gregory was up, unusually, hunched over his laptop in sweatpants, the blue glow casting shadows on his face. "Rough one?" Gregory asked, not looking up, but his voice had that soft edge, the one that said he was listening without judging. "You have no idea," Raymond groaned, collapsing onto the couch, kicking off his boots. The room spun a little, the walls closing in like they did when the loneliness hit hardest. Lila's ghost was everywhere. Her laugh in the echo of the train, her perfume in the laundromat down the block. "Broke up with another girl tonight, or she broke up with me. Same shit." Gregory closed his laptop, patted over with 2 mismatched mugs of something steaming, chamomile tea probably, because of course that's what he drank at this hour. "You're a catch, Ray. They'll figure it out." He handed over the mug, their fingers brushing, and Raymond felt a spark, dismissed it as static from the carpet. They talked or Raymond ranted, the words spilling out like the liquor still burning in his gut. About Lila, about how she'd called him predictable, about how he felt like a placeholder in his own life. Gregory listened, nodding, his knee bumping Raymond's in the tight space of the couch. "You're more than that," Gregory said finally, his eyes steady behind those glasses. "You're the guy who tips the busker on the corner every time, even when you're broke. The one who drags me to rooftop parties I hate but end up loving. You." Raymond laughed, bitter and broken. "Yeah, well, you isn't cutting it." He drained the tea, set the mug down too hard, and leaned back, head lolling against the cushions. The room blurred at the edges, Gregory's face sharpening in the haze. What would it take, huh? To feel something real for once? Gregory hesitated, then reached out, his hand hovering before settling on Raymond's arm. "Maybe it's already here." That was the hook the moment the line went taut. Raymond turned, their faces inches apart, the air thick with unspoken things. Gregory's breath was warm, tentative, and when Raymond didn't pull away, it was like a dam breaking. Lips met, soft at first, exploratory, then hungry, desperate. Hands roamed, shirts tugged free, the couch creaking under their weight as they tumbled into uncharted territory. It wasn't planned, wasn't thought out. It was raw, electric, a collision of need and numbness that left them gasping in the aftermath. Now, in the gray light of morning, Raymond stared at the ceiling cracks that mapped out like veins, his body aching in ways both familiar and foreign. Gregory shifted beside him, eyes fluttering open, and for a split second, there was peace. A shared secret in the rumpled sheets. Then reality crashed in. "Ray," Gregory murmured, voice thick with sleep and something softer, hopeful. Raymond jerked away, scrambling for his boxers on the floor. This didn't happen." The words tasted like ash, but he said them anyway, pulling on his jeans with shaking hands. Gregory sat up, sheet pooling at his waist, hurt flickering across his face like a shadow. "Ray, wait." "No." Raymond's voice was steel now, laced with panic. He grabbed his keys from the nightstand, the jangle deafening. "I need air. Fuck, I don't know." The door slammed behind him, echoing down the stairwell as he burst into the crisp October street, the Brooklyn air slapping his face like a wake-up call. He walked for blocks, the city waking around him. Dog walkers, joggers, the distant honk of taxis, until his legs burned and his lungs screamed. What the hell was that? He was straight. Girls, beers, bro dates. Not this. Not the way Gregory's touch had ignited something dormant. A fire he'd never known was smoldering. Betrayal clawed at him, not at Gregory, but at himself, for the weakness, the curiosity that had won out. By noon, he was at the Rusty Anchor, nursing a black coffee behind the bar, the place empty save for the hum of the ancient fridge. His phone buzzed. "Gregory, we should talk. Please." Raymond stared at it, thumb hovering, then shoved it in his pocket. Talk about what? The fact that one night had rewritten their rules? That he couldn't look at Gregory without remembering the taste of his skin? The low moan that had escaped when Raymond's fingers traced his spine? The shift started slow, the lunch crowd trickling in, office workers in rumpled suits, laughing off hangovers. Raymond poured drafts on autopilot, flashing his grin like armor. But inside, turmoil churned. Flashes of the night replayed. Gregory's hesitation melting into boldness, the way he'd whispered Raymond's name like a prayer. It wasn't just physical. It was intimate, vulnerable in a way sex with women never had been. No games, no performance, just them stripped bare. Mid-afternoon, the door swung open, and there was Lila, of all people, sliding onto a stool with that smirk that used to undo him. "Hey, stranger," she said, twirling a cocktail straw. "Heard you had a wild night. Buy me a drink." Raymond froze, heart stuttering. How did she know? But her eyes were playful, not accusatory. She meant the bar, the shots, not that. "Yeah, sure," he muttered, mixing her usual gin and tonic with hands that betrayed him by trembling. They chatted surface level, her new job, his single life. But his mind was elsewhere, snagged on Gregory's text, unanswered. "You seem off," Lila said finally, tilting her head. "Everything okay?" He forced a laugh. "Just tired. Roommate drama." The lie sat heavy, but it bought him time. As she left, waving over her shoulder, Raymond's phone buzzed again. Not Gregory this time. A text from his buddy Marco. "Yo, party at my place tonight. Bring the booze and that fine-ass roommate of yours." Raymond's stomach twisted. Marco, the loudmouth from high school, who'd crashed their place uninvited and hit on anything with a pulse. If he knew, God, if anyone knew. He clocked out early, the autumn sun dipping low as he trudged home, the weight of the day pressing down. The apartment building loomed, its faded brick a familiar prison. He paused at the door, key in hand, listening for sounds inside. Music, typing, anything. Silence. With a deep breath, he turned the lock. Gregory was in the kitchen, chopping vegetables with mechanical precision, the knife thudding rhythmically. He looked up, eyes guarded. But there was no anger, just a quiet ache. "Hey! Hey!" Raymond leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed like a shield. The air hummed with tension, the space between them vast despite the 10 feet. "You eat yet?" Gregory asked, nodding at the cutting board, carrots, onions, the start of stir-fry, their Friday ritual. Raymond's throat tightened. Normalcy like a lifeline. "Yeah, no, I mean coffee." Gregory set the knife down, wiped his hands on a towel. "About last night." "Don't." The word came out sharper than intended, and Gregory flinched. Raymond softened, rubbing his neck. I need to process, man. This is new. For me." Gregory nodded, slow like he'd expected it. "I get it. But it was real, Ray. Whatever it was. The past tense stung, and Raymond felt a pull, magnetic, urging him closer. But fear won as it always did. "Yeah, real." He pushed off the frame, heading for his room. "I'm gonna crash early." The door clicked shut, and in the darkness of his bedroom, Raymond lay staring at the ceiling, the city's pulse throbbing outside. Everything had changed, all right. The question was, could he change with it? Sleep came in fits, haunted by dreams that blurred the line between memory and desire. Gregory's hands on his hips, the press of bodies in the half-light, a whisper of stay that echoed into waking. Raymond jolted upright at dawn, sweat-damp sheets clinging, the apartment's silence save for the distant rumble of the subway. He showered cold, the water a brutal slap to his skin, trying to rinse away the confusion that had taken root overnight. By the time he emerged, towel around his waist, Gregory was already gone. His sketchpad open on the table to a half-finished portrait, Raymond's face in charcoal strokes, eyes fierce and unguarded. Guilt twisted like a knife. He dressed quickly. Jeans, faded tee, the leather jacket Gregory had borrowed last winter and never returned, and bolted for the door, leaving the drawing untouched. The streets of Brooklyn buzzed with weekend energy. Families hauling groceries, street vendors hawking coffee from dented carts, the air crisp with fallen leaves skittering along sidewalks. Raymond walked aimlessly, past the indie bookstore where Gregory dragged him for launch parties, past the park where they tossed a frisbee one hungover afternoon, laughing until their sides ached. His phone vibrated. Marco again. "Party's on. Don't flake." Raymond typed back a thumbs up, then deleted it, thumbing through photos instead. There they were, from last 4th of July. Arms slung around each other on a Coney Island pier, fireworks exploding overhead, Gregory's grin brighter than the bursts. "Straight guy, my ass," a voice in his head mocked. What was he now? Bi? Questioning? Just scared shitless? The Rusty Anchor opened at 11 on Saturdays, and Raymond was there by 10, restocking bottles with mechanical efficiency. The bar's owner, Sal, a grizzled vet with tattoos from Nam, clapped him on the shoulder. "You look like hell, kid. Girl trouble." Something like that. Raymond forced a chuckle, but Sal's eyes narrowed, wise to the dodge. "Whatever it is, don't let it eat you alive. Life's too short for regrets." He shuffled off to the office, leaving Raymond with the wisdom hanging like smoke. The lunch rush hit hard, brunch crews in oversized sunglasses, demanding bottomless mimosas, and Raymond lost himself in the pour, the clink of glass, the banter that felt like armor. But every lull brought it back. The curve of Gregory's neck under his lips, the way his body had arched, trusting, yielding. It wasn't just sex. It was surrender, a cracking open that terrified him. Afternoon dragged into evening, the bar filling with the pre-party crowd. Marco burst in around 6, all broad shoulders and booming laugh, slapping high fives down the bar. Ray, where's the beer? And yo, your roommate, Greggy, right? That dude's got moves. Saw him at that gallery thing last month, charming the pants off everyone. Raymond's grip tightened on the shaker, ice rattling. Yeah, he's something. The words tasted sour, jealousy flaring unbidden at the thought of Gregory with others. Marco leaned in, conspiratorial. Dude, you two are like an old married couple. Ever think about No. Raymond cut him off, slamming a whiskey neat down harder than needed. Just roommates. Marco raised his hands, grinning. Touchy. All right, parties at mine, rooftop, BYOB, the works. Lila's coming, by the way. Said she'd miss your ugly mug. Lila. The name landed like a punch. Raymond nodded numbly, clocking out as the sun dipped, painting the sky in bruised purples. The walk home was a gauntlet of what-ifs. What if he ignored it, buried it under bro code and denial? What if he faced it, let whatever this was bloom? But the apartment door loomed, and inside, the scent of stir-fry lingered, a ghost of normalcy. Gregory was there, sprawled on the couch with his laptop, some documentary droning about urban decay. He glanced up, neutral mask in place. Good shift. Decent. Raymond shrugged off his jacket, avoiding those eyes. Marco's party tonight. Rooftop thing. You in? Gregory's fingers paused on the keys. Yeah? Thought you were dodging me. Not dodging. Just figuring shit out. Raymond sank into the armchair, the distance between them a chasm. Last night was intense. I'm not saying it wasn't good fuck. It was. But I'm straight, Greg. Or I was. Gregory closed the laptop, leaning forward, elbows on knees. Labels are bullshit, Ray. It's not about straight or gay. It's about what feels right. And last night, that felt right to me. Raymond's pulse thrummed, heat rising. For you, maybe, you've got the roadmap. Me? I'm lost as hell. Silence stretched taut as a wire. Then Gregory stood, crossing to the kitchen, pulling 2 beers from the fridge. He handed one over, their fingers brushing again, deliberate this time, and clinked bottles. Then let's get you unlost. Party sounds fun. I'll go. Relief flooded Raymond, mingled with something sharper, anticipatory. They prepped in companionable quiet. Raymond showering again, the steam fogging memories. Gregory humming as he picked an outfit, slim jeans and a Henley that hugged his frame just so. By 8, they were out the door, Ubers whisking them to Marco's in Bushwick, where fairy lights strung across the rooftop twinkled against the skyline. The party was peak Brooklyn. Craft cocktails in mason jars, a playlist of Tame Impala and Phoebe Bridgers, clusters of 20-somethings debating rent hikes and crypto crashes. Marco greeted them with bear hugs, thrusting drinks into their hands. Manhattan's bitches, before vanishing into a knot of laughter. Gregory melted in seamlessly, chatting art with a tattooed curator, his laugh drawing eyes. Raymond watched from the sidelines, beer sweating in his grip, a knot of pride and possessiveness tightening. Then Lila appeared, weaving through the crowd in a red dress that screamed trouble, her smile zeroing in on him. Raymond! She air-kissed his cheeks, perfume clouding his head. Missed you. Yeah. He hugged back, awkward, her body familiar but distant now. You look good. They talked easy, flirty, the old rhythm kicking in. But his eyes strayed to Gregory, who caught them once, twice, a silent question passing. Lila noticed, following his gaze. Your roommate's cute. You two ever? Raymond choked on his sip. What? No. Jesus. She laughed, light but probing. Relax. Just saying chemistry's a thing. Her hand lingered on his arm, and guilt surged anew. Not for her, but for the lie he was living. As night deepened, the party peaked. Someone fired up a grill, smoke curling into the stars. A tipsy game of flip cup devolved into chaos. Raymond drank too much, the buzz loosening his edges, and when Gregory sidled up, shoulder brushing, it felt like gravity shifting. Having fun? Gregory asked, voice low under the music. More now. The words slipped out, honest, and Gregory's eyes warmed, a spark reigniting. They danced, not really, swaying to a slow track, bodies close in the press of friends, hands finding waists tentatively. Marco Wolf whistled from across the roof, but Raymond didn't care. The world narrowed to Gregory's breath on his neck, the subtle press of hips. It was dangerous, this pull, but intoxicating. Lila interrupted, tugging Raymond for a catch-up, her laugh too loud. They ended up in a corner, her lips brushing his ear as she whispered about second chances. We were good together, Ray. Still could be. He pulled back, the words sticking. I don't know anymore. Her brow furrowed, hurt flashing. Because of him? She nodded toward Gregory, who was laughing with a group. Oblivious. No, it's me. But even as he said it, betrayal brewed. Not hers, but his own. For entertaining this when his body hummed for the man across the roof. The night unraveled from there. Marco, 3 sheets to the wind, cornered them later, slurring compliments on Gregory that veered too familiar. Dude, you'd make a killer couple. Ray, you hogging all the hot ones. Laughter rippled, but Raymond's face burned, the joke landing like shrapnel. Gregory played it off, but his eyes met Raymond's, wounded, withdrawing. They left early, the Uber ride silent, tension thick as fog. Back home, the apartment felt smaller, charged. You okay? Raymond asked, breaking first as they kicked off shoes. Gregory shrugged, heading for the bedroom. Just tired of being the punchline. You're not. Raymond followed, catching his wrist. Marco's an idiot. And Lila. That wasn't. Nothing. Gregory turned, eyes blazing. Ray, you can't have it both ways. Last night meant something to me. If it was just a drunk mistake, say it. Let me go. The plea hung, raw, and Raymond's resolve crumbled. He stepped closer, hand cupping Gregory's jaw, thumb tracing his lip. It wasn't nothing. I'm scared, Greg. But I want this. You. Their kiss was slower this time, deliberate, sealing a pact in the hallway's dim light. They tumbled to Gregory's bed, exploring with intention. Kisses trailing collarbones, gasps mingling with confessions. I've wanted this for months, Gregory admitted between breaths, fingers threading hair. Since that stupid beach day. Raymond paused, hovering. Why didn't you say? Didn't want to lose you. Vulnerability cracked his voice, and Raymond kissed it away, bodies aligning in a rhythm that felt like home. After, tangled and sated, they lay whispering futures. Weekend getaways, coming out to friends. Hope bloomed, fragile but fierce. But dawn brought reality. Raymond's phone lit with Lila's text. Saw you too. Be careful, Ray. People talk. Doubt crept in, a shadow at the edges. Everything had changed, yes, but was it for better or just the start of the storm? Monday morning hit like a freight train, the alarm blaring through Raymond's skull as sunlight stabbed the blinds. He groaned, arm flopping to silence it, only to find Gregory's side of the bed empty, the sheets cool. Panic flickered. Had it been a dream? But the faint scent of his cologne lingered, grounding. From the kitchen, the clatter of dishes, the hiss of coffee brewing. Raymond smiled despite the hangover haze, pulling on boxers and padding out. Gregory was at the stove, flipping pancakes with exaggerated flair, humming an off-key tune. Morning, sleepyhead. Fuel for the fire. Raymond leaned against the counter, watching the domesticity unfold like a scene from some indie rom-com. You spoil me. Someone has to. Gregory slid a plate over. Golden stacks drizzled with maple, bacon crisp on the side. Their eyes met, a current zipping through, and Raymond tugged him close by the apron strings, stealing a syrup-sweet kiss. It was easy, this new rhythm. Stolen touches over breakfast, goodbye pecks at the door. Raymond headed to the bar early, the subway ride a blur of possibility. Texts pinged. Gregory sending a doodle of them as superheroes, capes fluttering. To conquer the world, the caption read. Raymond grinned, firing back a heart emoji he'd never used before. But the bar was a reality check. Sal eyed him over the ledger, gruff as ever. You got a spring in your step, kid. Finally get laid. Raymond flushed, busying himself with limes. Something like that. Sal grunted approval. Good. Just don't fuck it up. The day crawled, pouring IPAs for tech bros, mixing Cosmos for date night couples. Each interaction a mirror to his own shift. He caught himself scanning faces, wondering who else hid truths behind smiles. By closing, exhaustion warred with elation, and the walk home felt lighter, the Brooklyn Bridge lights winking like conspirators. Gregory waited with takeout, Thai from the spot on Montrose, green curry steaming. They ate cross-legged on the floor, trading stories. Gregory's client call gone hilariously wrong, Raymond's brush with a celebrity sighting, some B-lister slumming it. Laughter flowed, easy, but under it simmered deeper talks. Gregory sharing his coming out at 17, the family's awkward acceptance. Raymond admitting his first crush on a boy in Little League, buried under football pads and denial. "You're brave," Raymond said, head on Gregory's lap, fingers tracing tattoos on his forearm. A compass rose, ink faded from college impulsivity. Gregory's hand stilled in his hair. "Nah, just tired of hiding." That night, they made love with the windows open. City sounds a symphony. Honks, laughter, the train's distant wail. It was tender, exploratory. Raymond learning the map of Gregory's body like a sacred text. Afterward, curled together, Gregory murmured, "I love you," soft as a secret. Raymond's heart stuttered, joy and terror colliding. Yeah, me too." The words were clumsy, but true, sealing them tighter. Tuesday blurred into Wednesday, the bubble intact. They navigated the roommate facade at home, doors ajar for plausible deniability. But outside, hands brushed in pockets, knees knocked under diner booths. Raymond met Gregory's friend circle at a queer open mic in Bed-Stuy. Nervous sweat beading as he sipped gin amid rainbow flags and poetry slams. Gregory performed a sketch, a heartfelt comic about unspoken crushes, dedicating it with a wink to the muse who finally showed up. The crowd hooped, and Raymond's chest swelled, clapping loudest. Later, over falafel wraps, a wiry artist named Jax cornered him. "You make him happy, man. Don't break his heart." "I won't," Raymond vowed, meaning it. But cracks formed Thursday. At the bar, Marco dropped by unannounced, nursing a pint and grievances about his latest breakup. "Women, man. Complicated as fuck." His eyes slid sly, probing. "You and Greg seemed cozy at the party. Anything I should know?" Raymond's laugh was forced, wiping the bar like it owed him money. "Nah, just bros being brothers." Marco leaned in, voice dropping. "Look, if you're experimenting or whatever, cool. But don't lead him on. Guy's got eyes for you. Always has." The words landed like ice water, Raymond's grip whitening on the rag. "What the fuck, Marco?" "Just saying." Marco shrugged, draining his glass. "Saw the way he looks at you. Like you're the damn son." Raymond tossed him out after that, closing early, a flimsy excuse. The streets felt hostile on the walk home, Marco's warning looping. Let him on. No, this was real. But doubt whispered. Was it? Or just a rebound from Lila? A safe harbor in the storm? Gregory sensed it that night, over pizza and a rom-com neither watched. "You okay?" Seemed off in your texts. "Yeah, just work shit." Raymond evaded, pulling him close instead. Kisses a distraction. They fell into bed, passion masking the fracture. But Gregory pulled back mid-embrace, searching his face. "Talk to me, Ray." "It's nothing." The weight pressed, but vulnerability scared him. Admitting fear meant risking loss. Friday brought the hammer. Lila texted, "Coffee? Need to clear the air." Raymond agreed, stupidly, meeting her at a cafe in Dumbo, the East River glittering mockingly. She looked polished, vulnerable, stirring her latte with precision. "I saw you with Gregory," she said bluntly, no preamble. "At the party. And I get it. He's good for you." Raymond blinked, defenses crumbling. "It's new. Complicated." She reached across, squeezing his hand sisterly. "Just be honest with him. And yourself. You deserve that." Her kindness stung, a mirror to his evasion. He left lighter, resolve hardening. Tonight he'd lay it all bare. But home was empty. Gregory's note on the fridge. Gallery opening, running late. "Love you." Raymond paced, rehearsing words, the apartment echoing his nerves. Hours ticked. 11 became midnight. Phone silent. Worry gnawed. He texted, "Everything good?" No reply. By one, panic-clawed, he grabbed keys, hailing a cab to the gallery in Chelsea. The city a neon blur. The space buzzed, abstract paintings glowing under spots, wine flowing. Raymond scanned, heart pounding, spotting Gregory in a corner. Laughing, too bright, with a tall guy in a velvet blazer, hand on his arm proprietary. Jealousy surged, hot and irrational. He wove through, tapping Gregory's shoulder. "Hey!" Gregory turned, surprise melting to warmth. "Ray, you came." He introduced the guy, Ethan, curator, old friend. But the touch lingered, and Raymond's gut twisted. They left soon after, cab ride thick with unspoken. "Nice of you to show," Gregory said, neutral. "Missed you." Raymond's hand found his thigh, but Gregory shifted away. "Busy night. Ethan cornered me on a collab. Big opportunity." "Great." The word bit, and Gregory's brow furrowed. "What's wrong?" "Nothing." "Lie again." At home. It erupted in the hallway, voices low but sharp. "You're pulling away," Gregory accused, arms crossed. "Ever since the party. If you're regretting." "I'm not." Raymond exploded, hands fisting. "It's Marco, Lila, everyone seeing it, judging. And me, scared shitless I'll fuck this up." Gregory softened, stepping in. "Then let me in, Ray. We face it together." But betrayal brewed elsewhere. Saturday morning, Raymond's phone rang. Unknown number. A voice, oily. "Raymond? This is Derek from the bar league. Heard you batting for the other team now. Careful. Sponsors don't like surprises." The call ended, but the threat lingered. Someone had talked. Marco? Lila? Paranoia took root, Raymond canceling their planned hike, claiming a shift. Gregory's hurt eyes haunted him. Again. "Sorry. Rain check." The lie tasted bitter, isolation closing in. By evening, the apartment was a minefield. Gregory cooked alone. Raymond nursing a beer on the fire escape, staring at the skylines in different glow. "We need to talk," Gregory said finally, joining him, 2 feet of steel grating between. Raymond nodded, throat tight. "Someone knows. About us. Threatened my gig." Gregory's face paled. "Who?" "Don't know. But it's out there." Fear cracked his voice. "What if it ruins everything?" Gregory bridged the gap, hand on his knee. "Then we fight it. Together." But Raymond pulled back, walls slamming up. "Easy for you to say. You've done this dance." Hurt flashed, deep. "And you think that's a bad thing? That I know how to love without apology." The words cut, exposing the chasm. Raymond's fragility against Gregory's quiet strength. They slept apart that night, the bed vast, silence deafening. Sunday dawned gray, rain lashing windows. Raymond woke to empty rooms, Gregory's duffel half-packed on the couch. "What the hell?" "Space," Gregory said. Voice steady but eyes red-rimmed. "You need it. We both do." "Don't." Panic surged, Raymond blocking the door. "Stay. Please." Gregory paused, bag dropping. "Then commit, Ray. All in or let me go." The ultimatum hung, and Raymond broke. Pulling him close, kisses desperate, apologies tumbling. They made up in the rain's rhythm, bodies frantic, reaffirming. "I'm in," Raymond gasped. "All the way." But the seed of doubt had sprouted, betrayal's shadow lengthening. Unbeknownst to them, Marco had spilled to Derek over beers, joking about Raymond's phase. The leak spread, whispers reaching Sal, the bar's underbelly churning. Monday, Raymond arrived to find Sal waiting, ledger closed. "We need to chat." The firing was swift, polite. "Not about you and Greg, kid. About the drama. Can't have it here." But the lie reeked. Eyes averted, the truth in the air. Devastated, Raymond stumbled home, rain soaking through. Gregory held him as he shattered, sobs racking. "Lost my job." "Oh, Ray." Gregory rocked him, fierce. "We'll figure it." But the blow landed deep, Raymond's faith fracturing. Was this curse or coincidence? The romance soured, conflicts mounting. arguments over secrecy, Raymond's withdrawal, Gregory's pleas falling on deaf ears. Climax brewed midweek, a blowout at a dive in Greenpoint. Raymond, 3 whiskeys deep, spotted Ethan chatting Gregory up at the bar. Paranoia ignited. "What's this?" he snarled, shoving between. Gregory recoiled. "Jesus, Ray. It's nothing." "Liar." Accusation flew, voices rising. "You think I don't see? Always the victim." "Huh." Patrons stared, and Gregory's face crumpled. "This is what fear does. It poisons us." He walked out, leaving Raymond in the wreckage, regret crashing like waves. The apartment was a tomb when Raymond dragged himself home that night, the door creaking like an accusation. Rain slicked the floors, his boots leaving muddy prints he didn't bother wiping. Gregory's jacket hung on the hook, a silent sentinel, but the living room was dark, the couch empty. "Greg!" His voice echoed, swallowed by shadows. A light flickered from the bedroom, Gregory's door ajar. Raymond hovered, heart hammering, the fight's venom still burning his tongue. He'd been an asshole, lashing out at phantoms, but the hurt ran bone deep. Job gone, whispers circling like vultures, the world shrinking to threats. Pushing inside, he found Gregory curled on the bed, back to the door, sketchpad open to a furious scribble. Jagged lines, a figure fracturing. "Go away, Ray." Muffled, weary. Raymond sank to the edge, mattress dipping. "I can't. I fucked up. Again." Gregory didn't turn. "Yeah, you did." The silence stretched, heavy with unsaid grief. Raymond reached, fingers grazing his shoulder. Flinch. "Ethan's nothing. I know that. It's me, I'm the problem. Scared you'll wake up and see it too." Gregory rolled then, eyes puffy, glasses askew. "I see you, Ray. The good. The guy who leaves voicemails for his mom every Sunday, who sketches bad tattoos on napkins to make me laugh. And the scared part? That's human. But you can't keep punishing me for it." Tears pricked Raymond's eyes, unbidden. "I don't deserve you." "Maybe not." Gregory sat up, soft now. "But I choose you anyway." They collided then, not with heat but healing. Kisses salty with tears, hands clutching like lifelines. It wasn't passion's fire but embers, rebuilding from ash. They talked till dawn. Raymond spilling the job loss details, the anonymous calls chill. Gregory confessing his own fears, the gallery gig teetering on rumors. "We're in this," Gregory said, forehead to forehead. "No more half measures." Tuesday brought tentative steps. Raymond pounding pavement, resumes fired to every bar from Cobble Hill to Crown Heights. Gregory tagged along to one interview, waiting in a cafe with thumbs-up emojis texted under the table. Rejections piled, but a dive in Park Slope bit. Start Friday. Cash tips, no drama. Elation surged. They celebrated with rooftop pizza. City sprawl their kingdom. "To us," Gregory toasted, clinking plastic cups of cheap Chianti. "To not fucking it up." Raymond grinned, pulling him onto his lap, the night air cool on heated skin. But betrayal's blade hovered. Wednesday, Raymond's phone buzzed mid-shift. "Marco. Sorry, man. Didn't mean for it to blow up. Derek's an S." Confirmation hit like gut punch. Raymond's hand shook, spilling a pint. He confronted after close, storming Marco's stoop in the witching hour. "You outed me? For what laughs?" Marco blinked, bleary from whatever bottle inside. "It was nothing. Just bar talk. Ray's got a boyfriend now. Thought it was cool." "Cool?" Raymond's voice rose, fists clenched. "Lost my job, Marco." Friends staring. "You get that?" Regret creased Marco's face. "Shit, Ray. I apologize. Won't happen again." But words were wind, damage etched. Raymond walked home, fury ebbing to sorrow. The bro code shattered, trust collateral. Gregory waited up, reading his face like Braille. "Marco?" "Yeah." Raymond collapsed beside him, head in lap. "Feels like everything's unraveling." Gregory stroked his hair. "Then we weave tighter." Romance rekindled in fragments. Lazy Sundays in bed, Gregory's fingers sketching patterns on Raymond's back. Midnight runs along the promenade, hands linked in shadow. Deep emotion surfaced. Raymond journaling fears in a battered notebook Gregory gifted, pages filling with raw admissions. I love how you see me, unbroken. Gregory shared too, vulnerabilities bared over candlelit dinners. His dad's quiet disapproval at holidays, the loneliness pre-Raymond. You made space for me, he said one night, wine loosening tongues. In here, hand over heart. Humanity shown in small acts. Raymond volunteering at Gregory's community art workshop for queer youth. Awkward at first but moved by stories echoing his own. A kid, 16 and trembling, confessed a crush. Raymond clapped his shoulder. It's scary, but worth it. Climax loomed Friday, Raymond's first shift at the new gig. The slope was queer-friendly. Rainbow stickers on the door, half the patrons in glitter, but nerves jangled. Gregory walked him, kiss lingering at the curb. You've got this. Inside it flowed, pores smooth, banter easy. Then Sal walked in, old boss, face thunderous. Raymond. Shit. Sal. What? Heard you landed on your feet. Sarcasm dripped. But words out. Sponsors pulling back cause of your situation. Raymond's blood iced. My situation? You mean me loving a man? Sal shifted, uncomfortable. It's business, kid. Not personal. Bullshit. Voice steady. Raymond untied his apron. It's exactly personal. And I'm done playing small. He walked out, Sal's protests fading. Outside, Gregory waited, reading the storm. Fired. Quit. Raymond laughed, wild. Free. Fuck him. Gregory pulled him into an alley, kiss fierce against brick. Proud of you, but the betrayal cut deepest from within. That night, scrolling texts in the quiet, Raymond found Lila's chain. From flirty to faded, ending with, heard about the drama. If you need an out. As if Gregory were a phase discardable. Rage boiled. He confronted her next day, coffee shop neutral ground. An out? From what? Happiness. Lila flushed. I care, Ray. Thought you were confused. I'm not. Steel in his spine. I'm his. End of. She nodded, tears welling. Then I'm happy for you. Truly. Closure, bittersweet. But ripples spread, Marco ghosting, old circles contracting. Isolation loomed, but Gregory anchored. Our circle then, small but solid. Weeks blurred into autumn's peak. Leaves carpeting streets in fire. They leaned in Gregory's gallery show, Raymond's proud +1, sketches of their life selling to teary collectors. This one's us, Gregory narrated, pointing to a rooftop embrace, city blurred. Applause thundered. Raymond's hand in his under the podium. Intimacy deepened. Slow dances in the kitchen to Coltrane. Confessions under stars from the fire escape. You're my north, Raymond whispered one night, tracing the compass tattoo. Always were. Gregory's eyes shone. And you're my adventure. Conflict simmered, though, family calls for Raymond, probing girlfriend. Questions dodged with half-truths. Soon, he promised Gregory. Thanksgiving. But betrayal's final strike came veiled. A letter in the mail, anonymous, envelope plain. Filth like you doesn't belong. Leave Brooklyn. Slur scrawled, venomous. Fear gripped. Raymond showed Gregory, hands shaking. This is it. The world sang stop. Gregory crumpled it. Fire in his gaze. Fuck the world. We say go. The confrontation peaked that eve. Storm raging outside, mirroring within. Raymond paced, doubts torrenting. What if it's too much? For you? Gregory grabbed his arms. Fierce. It's never too much. But if you're out, say it now. Break me clean. Tears streamed. I can't. I won't. Collapse into embrace. Sobs mingling. I love you too much to lose you. Raw, they bared souls. Fears of abandonment, dreams of forever. Dawn broke clear, pact renewed. Come out fully, build unapologetically. Humanism wove through. Volunteering doubled. Art classes for at-risk kids where Raymond shared his story. halting but honest. I was scared, but love? It's the bravest thing. A boy nodded, eyes wide. Like superheroes? Exactly. Raymond ruffled his hair, Gregory's smile from the doorway a beacon. Yet climax crested at Marco's apology bash. A forced reconciliation, rooftop redux. Marco, sober-eyed, pulled Raymond aside. I was wrong. Jealous, maybe, of what you have. Forgiveness flowed, tentative. Don't lose friends over it, Marco added. But fight for him. As music swelled, Raymond found Gregory, pulling him to dance. Open, unhidden. Whispers rippled, but stares turned to cheers. The night alchemical. Betrayal's echo faded, replaced by solidarity. Lila sent flowers to real love. Even Sal texted, miss your pores. Doors open if you want. Raymond deleted it. New chapters. November's chill settled like a promise. Frost etching windows as Thanksgiving loomed. The apartment transformed, string lights twinkling. A turkey thawing in the fridge, Gregory's playlist of soulful jazz warming the air. Raymond's nerves jangled. Phone clutched for the call to his folks in Philly. Ready? Gregory asked, kneading dough for cornbread, flour dusting his nose. As I'll ever be. Raymond dialed, speaker on, heart in throat. Mom's voice crackled. Warm. Ray. Pumpkin pies in the oven. Can't wait to see you. Pause, breath steadying. Mom. Got news. Bringing someone. Gregory. My boyfriend. Silence, then a gasp, Dad's murmur in background. Boyfriend. Mom, tentative. Like? Yeah, like that. Raymond's grip whitened knuckles. Gregory's hand covering his. Grounding. More quiet. Then, oh honey, we love you. Always. Tears choked her. Bring him. We'll set an extra plate. Relief crashed, Raymond sagging into Gregory's chest. They took it. Just like that. Pride, Gregory murmured, kissing his temple. Told you. The drive to Philly was a ribbon of highway gold, autumn foliage blazing. They sang off-key to Springsteen, hands linked over the console, the old Subaru rattling like approval. Mom hugged fierce at the door, Dad clapping shoulders awkward but kind. Dinner unfolded tentative. Small talk over yams. Then Gregory's charm weaving magic, stories of Brooklyn oddities drawing laughs. Later, porch swing creaking, Dad pulled Raymond aside. He's good for you, son. See it in your eyes. Light I ain't seen since Little League. Raymond swallowed hard. Scared I don't deserve it. Dad chuckled, gravelly. None of us do. That's grace. Back in Brooklyn, the glow lingered. Job hunt yielded fruit. A craft cocktail spot in Williamsburg, queer-owned. Owners who high-fived Raymond's resume. We need more Rays. First shift. Gregory toasted with espresso martinis. To beginnings. Romance bloomed lush. Winter market dates. Gloved hands steaming mulled wine. Midnight skates at Bryant Park. Falls into laughter snow. Emotions plumbed depths. Gregory's panic attack mid-argument over forgotten chores. Raymond holding steady. Breathe with me. Here. Vulnerability reciprocated. Raymond's nightmare of loss. Waking sweat-soaked. Gregory's arms a harbor. I'm not going anywhere. Humanism threaded daily. Holiday toy drive. Them sorting donations in a church basement. Faces of kids lighting at Gregory's caricatures. One girl, shy with braids, clutched a drawing. You're like family. We are, Raymond said, throat tight. All of us. Climax's shadow lifted, but one final conflict stirred. Ethan's invite to a dual exhibit. Professional but laced with old flirt. Gregory accepted. Ray's blessing strained. Trust you. The night shimmered. Loft gallery humming. Paintings pulsing emotion. Ethan hovered, compliments veering personal, but Gregory deflected smooth, arm-linking Ray's. My partner, he introduced, proud. Ray's jealousy ebbed to gratitude, pulling Gregory to a quiet alcove. You're mine. Always. Kiss sealed, public, unashamed. Betrayal's last gasp came anonymous again. Email to Gregory's freelance. Pervert. No one wants your queer art. Client dropped, sting sharp. Rage, then resolve. They reported, rallied friends. Jack's organizing a countershow. Love in lines, selling out. Proceeds to LGBTQ plus youth. Crowd swelled. Toasts raised. To Gregory and Ray. Proof love wins. After rooftop of their building. City a carpet of lights. Raymond dropped to one knee. Not ring, but a keychain compass engraved, Our North. Move beyond roommates. Partners. Forever. Gregory's laughed tears. Yes. God, yes. They made love under stars, slow and sacred. Bodies a vow. Mornings after held grace. Coffee shared. Plans sketched. Apartment hunt for space with a studio. Trips to the Cape. Adoptions dreamed. Tragedy touched edges. Grandma's passing in spring. Family gathering where hands held under tables. Eulogy's quiet nod. Love like his, fierce, unwavering. But humanism prevailed. Grief shared, growth from loss. Years blurred, but that first change anchored. The night straight became something truer. At 30, in a loft with skyline views, Raymond watched Gregory sketch, light catching his laugh lines. Everything changed, he murmured, echoing the start. Gregory turned, eyes soft. For the better. And it was dramatic falls, emotional climbs, romantic depths, humanistic heart. From roommates to lovers, the straight guy slept and woke to life.